When do you make the decision to go drive Rick's car? At the beginning of 1984?
Late in the year when they called me to come down.
Yeah.
And the story is we talked in Rick's office, and they said, oh, well, okay, told me what he only promised maybe 15 races.
Really?
But I wanted to drive the car because of Harry Hyde. It wasn't Rick Hendrick.
Okay.
And I've told him that. He knows that. I wanted to drive for that guy because he was a winning crew chief.
Are you thinking you're going to piece it together with other opportunities? Like, back then guys would run for different owners. You're just going to see what happens. So it's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, I thought with Harry Hyde, though, I was going to win.
Yeah.
He's going to show me how to win, teach me how to win.
But everybody knows
no guarantee.
Everybody knows the story. Like, Rick loves to, y'all were almost shutting down when you won Martinsville, the first race with the team. So,
Well, he told Harry and I that he was done. He'd spent too much money. He was going to have to shut the door, and he wasn't going to let us go to Martinsville. But Harry said, look, the car's ready, the engine's in it, maybe a few tires, that's it, but it's all ready to go. Let Bodine go there. He's won a few races there. I won late models and the modifieds.
That's right.
And so he did, obviously. He and Linda were at a church conference in Greensboro. They weren't even there. And, we won. I mean, your dad didn't fall out. Bobby Ellison didn't fall out. None of it.
Beat him.
I just beat him. I'll never forget. I passed Bobby Ellison on the outside going into turn 3. And he was leading the race. And, I had success there. I just applied everything I learned there to this big, heavy old cup car, and it all worked. After the race, didn't have these things, so Rick didn't even know he won. He didn't even know he won. He called his mom up and said, Mom, what happened at Martinsville? Ricky, he won the race. So Rick and Linda went to my house. I was living up just south of Greensboro then, and toilet papered my house. That was a celebration.
They toilet papered your house?
Toilet papered my house.
Rick did?
When you
Rick Hendrick, toilet paper?
Yeah, Rick and Linda. I don't know who was throwing it, but it was up there pretty high.
When you saw that, what did you think happened? Did
Well,
you know who did it?
Well,
You certainly didn't.
I didn't know exactly, but I figured it. Of course,
Yeah.
I called him up and said, what's all this toilet paper hanging from my trees? Yeah, we're
hilarious.
just celebrating.
So is it true or is it just legend that race would have been the last race of Hendrick Motorsports as we knew it until you won?
Rick told that story. It was done. It was over. If we hadn't won, it was over. He was shutting the door. You were there when he said that. We were doing a TV thing at the museum.
Yeah. I mean, so y'all there was a sponsor on the car.
Oh, by the way, I haven't got that check you guys said you're going to send me for keeping Hendricks going. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Every time I see Gordon, I say, Jeff, I haven't got that check yet. What'd you do, move?
I know
sent it that address.
You're talking about, I think it was like a 50th anniversary or there was some anniversary video that all the drivers, including yourself, Jeff, got together and did a deal with Mr. Hendrick. And so you're saying that all those other drivers said that they owe you money because you were the one that kept the business going.
No, I told them they owe me money.
Well, you're right.
They all became multimillionaires
because of
this
you.
Guy. Well, if there hadn't been a Hendrick Motorsports, where would their careers be? They might be better. They might not be as good. Who knows?
Jimmy may still be running Baja and motorcycles, right?
Yeah, sure.
There was I forget the name, Nationwide check. What was the sponsor on the side of the car? I can't even remember what it was.
Northwestern Security Life.
Yeah.
They came on board.
So they basically were a 1 or 2 race deal or something like that, and that win triggered them to sponsor more races, and so y'all were able to continue. Did it ever get dicey again with money near the end of the year or at any other point?
You know what happens when you win a race, especially a cup race. I mean, that's big. That's big, and Rick wasn't going to quit then. He tasted that victory lane. He wanted more.
Yeah. So, Harry Hyde, talk about him. You and him, raced together for a couple years, but then it got a little weird at the end. What happened?
You weren't there. It wasn't weird. He was just old school.
You and him, y'all kind of fell out, though, didn't you?
Well, yeah, because he was old school. When we won Martinsville in race cars, you balance the cars out with the lead and stuff you put in it. He liked to put all the lead in the trunk. He'd have all this 50-some% weight in the rear. Now, it worked at Martinsville. It worked some tracks, but as things changed, tires changed, and the cars and everything, it wasn't working so good. I said, Harry, when you put that lead in the back, it's like a pendulum on a clock. It swings the back end out going through the corner. He said, Bodine, I don't know about any pendulum, but that's where the lead's going. so yeah, we were kind of butting heads about setups, and Rick saw it. Of course, Harry told him, I don't want to work with that Bodine.
Yeah.
He's a hard head.
Before that, though, what was Harry like? I mean, like, we love Harry Hyde stories. So give us the best Harry Hyde stories. I
love Harry Hyde. I mean, he taught me how to win. We won our first race together, so that was pretty cool. No, Harry was a funny guy. He really was. You know, the movie Days of Thunder, it's about your dad.
Yeah.
It's about me and Tim Richmond. Tim and I were teammates. Well, Tim had a birthday. Now, in the movie, it had him going down the road and riding in a trailer, a tractor trailer rig, and the cop pulling over, and it was a fake deal, and the cop was a a stripper. Well, that didn't really happen going down the road. It happened at the shop. Harry hired this stripper. It was Tim's birthday. Hired this stripper to come in dressed as a cop and do the thing in the shop. So that's what Harry was. He was funny. He really was a great guy. I loved him to death.
So that really happened? I thought that was just complete make-believe in the movie. You're saying Harry Hyde, it just wasn't in a hauler going down the road. He hired a stripper.
That movie was real.
Well, how much?
Everything in there was real, really happened. The meeting in Daytona was Junior's dad and I.
Yeah.
You know, he spun me out in Saturday's race at Charlotte. Then he wrecked me in Sunday's race at Charlotte. And got the phone call from Rick Hendrick, hey, meet us at the airport tomorrow. We got a little meeting in Daytona. So we all met there and got things worked out. That's when your dad realized Bill was – you're where your dad was over here, and Rick Hendrick and Childress, everyone's down there, and Bill France is there, and he realized that guy was the boss.
Right.
Well, because he told us he was the boss. And he told us how we were going to race. And the rest of that year, we raced that way. But your dad realized he was needed to be his friend, and he became his friend, and I didn't. I was just an old northern boy. I didn't know what I was doing.
So before to kind of tease us up, you and Dad had quite a few run-ins. You were on the bad end of a lot of them. Would you agree?
There were so many. I was on the bad end of so many. After he spun me out Saturday, Rick Hendrick called me up. Hey, I'm tired of Earnhardt wrecking my cars. If you can't do something about it, I'll get somebody in there that will. Holy cow. Pressure was on, right?
Yeah.
We had a good car for the World 600, too. The thing was running good. Had to do something. So I bumped your dad coming off the 2 and got next to him going down to the 3. He forgot to turn.
Yep.
Reading the wall. So, yeah, that's why we had the meeting. But it was a good meeting.
But hold on, where did that start? Where did the thing start with you and Earnhardt?
We were buddies. When I first got in, do you remember my boys, Matthew and Barry, coming down riding your go-kart?
Yes.
Yeah. They go down to the lake. I never went down to the house, but they rode go-karts. And one weekend, your dad came up and hit me in the shoulder. He loved hitting people.
Yeah.
with the car or with his hand. Hit me in the shoulder. You owe me $100. I said, what are you talking about? Your boys were down there riding Dale Jr.'s go-kart, and they wore the tires out. You owe me $100. Well, we went to dinner and all that, but as soon as you win, it doesn't matter if you're racing, basketball, football, it don't matter. Once you win, beat the other guys, things change a little bit.
So when was that? When did that start? You're saying you're friends, y'all were friendly, and then at some point that had to turn.
Well, I won Martinsville, and, first-time winner, a lot of people like it, but when you start running good, then you get more competitive, and, you're running with the best. He was one of the best, so you get bumping, and it goes from there.
If you like that conversation with Geoff Bodine, well, you got to listen to the whole podcast. Why wouldn't you want to, right? Well, the Dale Jr. Download is available on all major podcast platforms.